welcome back. First off, I'd like to apologize for not uploading last week. I have school, so final projects and stuff are coming up, so I'm pretty busy with that. But today I'm going to show you 3 easy Videostar transitions to make you look like a pro. As always, follow me on Instagram. I hope you enjoy the video. Bye! Every transition you do is going to be found under multi-layer for this video. Don't mind the video in the back, it's just me setting up this video. I'm just going to take this time to briefly explain in and out graphs, and I'm going to give you my QR codes for those. Really quickly, if you don't know, in graphs are the graphs you want to use when you're ending a transition, and out graphs are graphs you will want to use when you're starting a transition. I plan to make a more in-depth video about graphs, but for now, here are my QR codes that you can use in keyframes. For our first transition, we are going to be doing this simple square flip. So you're going to want to make sure your scenes are split, and then you're going to go to multi-layer as previously mentioned. You're going to stay with your base scene, the one that ties into your transition from the previous scene if you're doing a real edit, and then you are going to import your photo on the second layer. So if you don't have experience with keyframes, I suggest you click off this video because we're going to be doing everything in keyframes. I go to keyframes and bring down my photo to the size I want it to be. I usually put this between 70 and 60. We are going to set a keyframe towards the middle of where we want our picture to pop up at. Then at the end, we are going to take the flip things and choose one of the uppy downy or lefty righty ones. The one you use to do a spin, that one works too, but I usually use those two. You are going to set the end point to 25 so it completely disappears, and you are going to set the beginning size to 0. Now here is where we use our in and out graphs. Your in graph will be set at the zooming in portion, and your out graph will be used when you have the turn. I just realized that saying in and out sounds like the fast food restaurant, but you know, whatever works. Here's me just messing around with the graph, and if you see down in the bottom corner, there's a little QR code button, and you can use that to import my QR codes if you want to use them. Now for our second scene, we are going to go to multi-layer again, and then import a photo and use last frame of previous scene. Then you are going to put the photo you want to transition to on second layer and then go to keyframe. You are going to set this photo at 70 or match it up with the previous size you had. And then you are going to go all the way to end, set a keyframe point for your flip thing, and then go to the beginning and flip it to 25 the reverse way. So then it looks smooth. Then you are going to use a in graph. Of course, you can use my QR codes like I said previously, or just do something like this. I decided to have it zoom out in the end because I thought that would look cool, but I mean, it really depends on the vibe your edit is going for and what your transition is going to be after. Now I'm going to teach you how to do this simple cube transition. You're going to go in multi-layer and you're going to set it up as you would for the flip transition. Then you are going to take your photo on the second layer and add 3D cube to it. Do know you have to buy this, so just be warned. You're going to want to click on this 3D button at the top, and now your photo is a cube. Also, don't go to keyframes, I was just showing here. Now you're going to want to click the button right next to 3D. These are called masters, and they're most used when 3D editing. Of course, click on layer 2 because that's the one you're going to be editing. I usually choose to show other layers while doing this, but whatever works for you, you know? So now we're going to set all our keyframe points where we want them and where we want the cube to come up. So as you can see, I'm using the flip options down below and the path options, and I'm setting them all at the same spot. And at the beginning of my clip, I'm just messing around with the flip ones because I want to show the audience this is a 3D object. You're also going to set a keyframe at the end. This is where the flip part comes in, and you're gonna just want to make it to like 13 or so. You want the white dot to line up with the edge of your cube, whichever way you're doing it. Now for graphs, you are going to want to make every single keyframe point before the flip transition as an in graph. It may look a little weird at first, but as soon as you set every single one of those to an in graph, it's all going to line up and look great. Now for your flip transition, you are going to set that to an out graph so it happens last. For the last half of the transition, you're going to set it up like you did before, adding the cube and stuff, going to 3D, going to master, all that. And then you are going to set a flip keyframe at the end because that will be your end result. Then you are going to move the flip keyframe to the opposite of the first one. Then of course you are going to top that off with an in graph. For the final transition, I will be teaching you how to do this double picture pop-up. So you're going to start with your two scenes as normal, go to the second scene and split it in half, or with the beat, whichever you choose. Then you are going to go to the first splits multi-layer, choose your photo, and add a mask. Now, depending on what size you are editing your photos in, you can choose whichever one you want. You just want to make sure that your photo fills half of the screen. Once you're done with that, adjust your photo to where you want it to end up at. Now go to keyframes and set an end keyframe of where you want your photo to go. As you can see here, I'm just adjusting it so that it fits the frame and it doesn't leave any white space. Once you're done with that, you can use it in graph for your graph choice. Once that's done, go to your second scene and repeat the process you did before. I forgot to mention that you want to make layer 1 of this scene a photo of your last scene. So it's going to have the half of the photo from your last one on the background, and then you can edit your new photo in. For this transition specifically and the example I showed you, I made sure to take a photo of this ending thing, I guess, and then put it as a third layer and mask out the photo from before. So in this case, it would be the photo of Tubbo with a bowl. Okay, well, that is the end of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed. Share around with your edit friends, and I will be back next week with a bigger and better video for you guys to make up for my absence last week. Bye-bye!